Empathy and sympathy are two different emotions that a human often experience and sometimes misunderstood. So empathy and sympathy as well are very different in definition and how it was affecting emotionally and mentally, but neither of them are bad necessarily. Empathy and sympathy have places in our lives, particularly when we connect or talk to people. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's misused. Well, let's know empathy more and let's talk about sympathy more. Let's start with sympathy. Sympathy is about literally telling the person that you know exactly what he's going through without without feeling that emotion deeply. So sympathy as well is like words of comfort, and when we do that, we tend to offer help and reach out just to make them feel better. On the other hand, empathy is about connecting with, feeling with, and being together with people. Well, as you notice, I use the common word with because it's about going into the same level of understanding and same level of how you see this perspective. Practicing empathy will allow you to understand more the person's mentally and emotionally, and you're not just telling them that you know how it feels like, but you're also giving them an idea that you're not alone. So empathy is not easy to obtain. It's not always easy to relate with others, but according to Shapiro, a program director of medications and arts, empathy is not a fixed trait. It can be learned. So why we choose empathy over sympathy? When we talk about work environment, you're not always working for yourself. You work with your teammates, your colleagues, with your managers, and most importantly, you work with your customers. And when we say customers, it's very important to well communicate with them because they bring their bread to the table. And communication alone won't allow customers to be satisfied that easily. So you need to have a connection, a bond, and I believe empathy does have both. Practicing empathy will allow you to understand them more on what they need, their fears and motivations. So let's talk about empathy more. So I do practice empathy, but I can always be perfect every time. So I made something that remind me what empathy really means. So first is E, earn their trust. Customers have trust issues, let's face that fact. But when you tell them that you are always there for them, and even though they don't know you, telling them that you are the right person to talk to, it won't matter if they don't actually talk to you personally. M, make a way. Customers feel about relationship or frustrations with their problems. So when they do, let them have the time to tell how upset they are and align with them. P, partner with them. Including them in your plans would always make them feel important, and make them feel that they're always the first priority. It will matter. A, acknowledge. Telling them verbally that they are important when it comes to your conversation, it will always make them feel they are acknowledged, and acknowledgement is one way of saying they are being heard. Tie it up with care. Customers, when they talk about problems, they they always feel terrible, and having terrible feelings will make them feel upset. And instead of saying, how can I help you, why not say, how can I make you feel better today? H, hear and say. Talk and listen to your customers. So when you talk, you acknowledge them, and when you listen with the heart. Why? You have my back. So when you always have to tell your customers that you are always there to help, and when they do, give them your best shot and give them the best possible experience. So it's not always easy to empathize, but through work and practice, you will be able to obtain that great skill, and you will be able to have that perspective where you will be able to know how you see yourself and how you see yourself to others.